Most people don't realize that almost every modern health complaint, fatigue that never improves, bloating after every meal, stubborn weight gain, brain fog, skin flare-ups, low immunity, and constant inflammation, starts in one place, the gut microbiome. When those trillions of organisms are damaged, the whole body begins to malfunction. But here's the remarkable part, and this is basic physiology. The gut can regenerate incredibly fast when it's given the right fuel. Within days, the gut lining begins repairing, immune cells rebalance, and inflammation drops like a stone. And there is one food that does this better than anything else. One food that directly nourishes the gut wall, feeds beneficial microbes, calms immune overreaction, and restores microbial diversity. It is the most powerful science-backed food for healing the gut, and it becomes the foundation of a simple but highly effective 14-day gut reset that anyone can begin today. When you give the gut what it biologically needs, you stop fighting the body. Energy becomes more stable, digestion becomes smoother, inflammation reduces automatically, and weight begins to shift without willpower or deprivation. This isn't a fad. It's simply how human physiology is designed to work. If the gut lining is intact and the microbiome is fed, every system in the body operates more efficiently. Over the next steps, you'll discover exactly what this food is, why it works so quickly, and the precise biological mechanisms that make it so effective for healing the gut. You'll understand how it strengthens immunity, improves metabolism, supports detoxification, and helps repair years of digestive stress. And you'll see how using this food daily for just 14 days can transform your energy, your digestion, and your overall health in ways you can feel within days. Nearly every chronic symptom people struggle with today can be traced back to one thing: a damaged gut. When the gut microbiome is depleted and the gut barrier becomes permeable, the immune system is pushed into a state of constant alarm. This is what people call inflammation. But in physiological terms, it's simply the body reacting to irritants and foreign particles that should never have escaped from the digestive tract in the first place. When the gut becomes leaky, tiny food particles, toxins, and bacterial fragments slip into the bloodstream. The immune system has no choice but to attack them. And as Dr. Myhill always says, when the gut barrier fails, the immune system is forced into constant firefighting. That uses up an enormous amount of energy. It means fatigue, brain fog, slow metabolism, fluid retention, and weight that refuses to budge no matter how hard you try. This immune firefighting isn't happening in one place, it's happening everywhere. That's why people feel inflammation in their joints, their skin, their sinuses, their hormones, and even their mood. Everything becomes reactive because the body is overwhelmed. When the gut lining is thin, weak, or inflamed, the first thing that suffers is digestion. Stomach acid drops because the body is trying to protect itself. Digestive enzymes become insufficient because the pancreas and gut wall are inflamed, and your beneficial microbes, the ones that digest fiber, produce vitamins, and modulate immunity, shrink dramatically in number. This combination is what we call dysbiosis. Dysbiosis triggers a cascade of problems. With low stomach acid, food doesn't break down properly. Protein ferments instead of digesting, leading to gas, bloating, and nutrient deficiencies. With low digestive enzymes, fats aren't broken down effectively, which affects hormones, energy production, and bile flow. And with a weakened mucosal barrier, bad bacteria and yeast species begin to overgrow, crowding out the beneficial species that are supposed to protect the gut wall. The result is a gut that is inflamed from the inside out. When the microbiome is disrupted, it directly slows down metabolism. Beneficial gut bacteria regulate how we burn calories, how much hunger hormone we produce, and even how much fat the body stores after a meal. If the gut is in chaos, the metabolism will be sluggish. This is why so many people can't lose weight, even though they are dieting or exercising. The problem isn't calories. The problem is that the gut is malfunctioning. And as long as the immune system is using most of the body's energy supply to handle inflammation, there is very little energy left for fat burning, hormone balance, or detoxification. Autoimmune flare-ups also begin here. When foreign particles leak through the gut wall, the immune system becomes confused and overactive. Over time, it can begin to attack the body's own tissues. This is why people with gut issues experience skin flare-ups, joint pain, thyroid problems, or sudden food sensitivities. It all traces back to permeability of the gut barrier and instability of the microbiome. Yet here's the part most people miss. The gut can repair astonishingly fast when given the right nutrients. The cells lining the gut regenerate every 2 to 5 days. The mucosal barrier can thicken in less than a week. Beneficial bacteria can double within hours if they're fed what they need, and this is where the #1 gut, healing food, becomes so powerful. When taken consistently for 14 days, it provides precisely what the gut lining requires to repair itself. It feeds beneficial microbes directly, allowing them to repopulate the gut and push out inflammatory species. It calms immune overreaction because it signals safety to the immune system. And it provides the raw materials needed to rebuild the mucosal barrier and tighten the gut lining so that foreign particles can no longer escape into the bloodstream. Once the gut begins repairing, inflammation drops automatically. Energy returns because the immune system is no longer stuck in fight mode. Hormones stabilize because the body is no longer flooded with inflammatory signals. Water retention decreases because inflammation-driven fluid shifts calm down. And weight loss becomes easier, not because of a trick or a diet, but because the body finally stops fighting itself and begins to operate the way human physiology is designed to operate. This is why the 14-day reset works so quickly. The gut is not slow to heal, it is simply waiting for the right inputs. Once the correct nutrients are supplied, the transformation begins almost immediately. One of the most powerful tools for repairing the gut and restoring microbial balance is bone broth. This humble, traditional food has been consumed for centuries, not just for flavor, but for its remarkable therapeutic benefits. Bone broth is rich in nutrients that directly support the gut lining and feed the microbes that are essential for a healthy microbiome. It contains amino acids such as glutamine, glycine, and proline, all of which are critical for maintaining and repairing the epithelial cells that line the intestines. Glutamine, in particular, is the preferred fuel source for enterocytes, the cells that form the gut barrier, and it plays a central role in tightening the junctions between cells, preventing leaky gut from occurring. Collagen and gelatin in bone broth provide the structural framework for the mucosal barrier, helping to soothe inflammation and maintain integrity throughout the digestive tract. Beyond these structural nutrients, bone broth contains peptides and minerals that support immune function and promote repair. These compounds signal the immune system to calm down, reducing the chronic inflammation that arises when the gut barrier is compromised. Probiotic components in the broth, such as small amounts of naturally occurring glycans, feed beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria and lactobacilli, allowing them to flourish and outcompete harmful species. This helps rebalance the microbiome, improving digestion, nutrient absorption, and even the production of short-chain fatty acids, which are vital for colon health. Clinical research has demonstrated that consuming bone broth regularly can lead to measurable improvements in gut function. Studies show enhanced microbial diversity, with beneficial species becoming more abundant, while inflammatory markers such as C-reactive protein and TNF-alpha decrease. Digestive symptoms like bloating, gas, and irregular bowel movements often improve within days as the gut lining repairs and the microbiome rebalances. Nutrient absorption increases as the epithelium strengthens, allowing more vitamins and minerals to enter the bloodstream and support overall metabolism. The amino acids in bone broth also support liver detoxification, joint health, and even skin elasticity, highlighting its systemic benefits beyond the gut. Incorporating bone broth into a 14-day gut healing protocol transforms it from a simple food into a keystone therapeutic tool. By supplying the body with the raw materials it needs to repair damaged epithelial cells, tighten junctions, reduce inflammation, and nourish beneficial microbes, bone broth accelerates the healing process and lays the foundation for long-term gut resilience. This single food addresses multiple aspects of gut dysfunction at once. It repairs, soothes, feeds, and protects. When consumed consistently, it primes the digestive system for optimal function, allowing energy, immunity, metabolism, and overall well-being to improve rapidly. For anyone looking to reset their gut in just 14 days, bone broth is not merely a component of the plan. It is the central pillar on which the entire healing strategy is built. When the gut receives consistent, targeted support, microbial colonies can shift remarkably quickly. Beneficial bacteria are remarkably resilient when given the nutrients they need, and they reproduce exponentially under the right conditions. Daily intake of the hash One Gut healing food provides exactly this support, acting both as fuel for good microbes and as a signal to the immune system that the gut is safe. Within days, the microbial landscape begins to change. Beneficial species such as bifidobacteria, lactobacilli, and butyrate, producing firmicutes, expand, while pathogenic species that thrive on inflammation and processed foods shrink. This reshaping of microbial diversity is fundamental because a balanced microbiome not only improves digestion but also produces metabolites like short-chain fatty acids, most importantly butyrate, which nourish epithelial cells, reduce local inflammation, and reinforce the gut barrier. The gut is uniquely capable of rapid regeneration. Enterocytes, the epithelial cells lining the intestine, renew themselves every 3 to 5 days, constantly repairing microdamage caused by stress, toxins, and poor diet. The nutrients provided by the gut healing food accelerate this natural regenerative process. Amino acids like glutamine, glycine, and proline are taken up directly by these cells, strengthening the tight junctions between them, preventing leaky gut, and reducing systemic exposure to inflammatory particles. Collagen and gelatin provide structural support for the mucosal layer, creating a robust barrier that protects the immune system from unnecessary activation. As the epithelial layer repairs, microbial colonies find a stable environment in which to thrive, creating a positive feedback loop. A healthy lining supports beneficial bacteria, and these bacteria further feed and protect the lining. Strengthening the gut lining has profound effects on immunity. Approximately 70% of all immune cells reside in the gut, and when the barrier is compromised, these cells are forced into overdrive. Daily use of the gut healing food signals safety, allowing immune activity to normalize. Chronic low-grade inflammation drops, reducing the energy drain that often leaves people fatigued. Dr. Myhill emphasizes the link between inflammation and mitochondrial function. When inflammation decreases, mitochondria produce ATP more efficiently. This is why gut healing is so closely tied to improved energy, mental clarity, and even metabolic efficiency. Simply repairing the gut lining and supporting the microbiome allows mitochondria to recover, restoring cellular energy production across the body. Short-chain fatty acids produced by a revitalized microbiome have additional systemic effects. Butyrate, propionate, and acetate not only nourish gut cells, but also modulate immune responses, improve insulin sensitivity, and support detoxification pathways in the liver. The combination of epithelial repair, microbial repopulation, and reduced immune overactivation sets the stage for rapid improvements in digestion, energy, and weight management. Within just 14 days of consistent intake, the gut shifts from a state of inflammation and dysbiosis to one of balance and resilience, with observable effects on digestion, immunity, and overall well-being. By providing the raw materials and signals the gut needs to regenerate, the #1 gut healing food transforms the intestinal environment in a remarkably short time. Microbial diversity flourishes, the epithelial barrier strengthens, immune function stabilizes, and mitochondria regain efficiency. This creates a cascade of benefits that extends far beyond the gut, illustrating how quickly the body can recover when given the right support. When the gut is nourished and the microbiome is balanced, the body experiences a profound reduction in inflammation. Beneficial bacteria produce metabolites that communicate directly with immune cells, signaling that there is no ongoing threat and reducing the production of inflammatory cytokines. This prevents the immune system from becoming overactive, which is the root cause of so many chronic issues. When the gut barrier is intact, foreign particles no longer escape into the bloodstream, and the immune system can shift out of constant defense mode. Dr. Myhill often emphasizes that this simple physiological correction is the key to stopping the chronic energy drain caused by constant immune activation. As inflammation diminishes, the body begins to function more efficiently. Skin problems, such as acne, eczema, or rashes, often improve because inflammatory signals from the gut no longer trigger immune flare-ups in distant tissues. Brain fog clears as neuroinflammatory signals drop and nutrient absorption improves, allowing the brain to receive a steady supply of fuel. Joint pain and stiffness ease because systemic inflammation decreases, reducing the swelling and discomfort that often accompany autoimmune or inflammatory conditions. Water retention diminishes naturally as inflammation-driven fluid shifts normalize, and metabolism accelerates because energy is no longer being diverted toward constant immune activity. A balanced microbiome also enhances nutrient absorption in a way that amplifies energy production and supports hormone regulation. Beneficial bacteria help break down food into usable compounds, produce vitamins, and improve mineral uptake. With a more efficient digestive system, the body can fuel mitochondria more effectively, increasing ATP production and improving overall vitality. Hormonal balance follows as the liver and endocrine system function more optimally, supported by the improved microbial environment. Detoxification pathways are enhanced because fewer inflammatory toxins are entering circulation, and the gut-liver axis is strengthened, allowing the body to clear metabolic waste with greater efficiency. Daily support with the #1 gut healing food accelerates all of these processes by feeding beneficial bacteria, strengthening the gut lining, and signaling safety to the immune system. The combined effect is a dramatic shift from chronic stress and low energy to improved vitality, mental clarity, and physical resilience. Repairing the gut restores microbial balance, reduces unnecessary inflammation, and allows the immune system to operate efficiently without overreacting to harmless triggers. In Dr. Myhill's words, when you repair the gut, the immune system finally stops fighting you and starts working for you. This is the foundation for lasting health, energy, and metabolic efficiency, showing that true wellness begins in the digestive system and radiates outward to every part of the body. The 14-day gut restoration plan centers on daily consumption of the #1 healing food, making it the cornerstone of every meal. Each day begins with a glass of water upon waking to rehydrate and gently wake the digestive system, followed by the first serving of the gut healing food, either alone or incorporated into breakfast. Consistency is key. Take a moderate portion each morning and another at lunch, ensuring the gut lining and microbial colonies receive constant nourishment. Meals should be timed around natural circadian rhythms, with breakfast, lunch, and an early dinner, avoiding late night eating to allow the digestive system to rest and repair overnight. Supporting foods amplify the benefits. Polyphenol-rich vegetables and berries, mineral, dense greens, and clean sources of protein such as eggs, fish, or pasture-raised poultry provide cofactors for tissue repair, immune support, and microbial balance. Avoid foods that disrupt the gut environment. Refined sugars, seed oils, processed foods, preservatives, and foods treated with antibiotics, which can destabilize microbial populations and slow repair. Chewing food thoroughly and eating mindfully enhances nutrient absorption, allowing beneficial compounds from the gut, healing food to reach the cells and microbes that need them most. Gentle movement like walking, stretching, or yoga improves circulation and supports lymphatic flow, helping inflammation resolve more efficiently. Stress reduction practices, even brief daily sessions of deep breathing or meditation, lower cortisol levels, which protects the gut lining from further damage. These habits, combined with daily intake of the healing food, create a synergistic environment that accelerates repair and microbial repopulation. The gut lining thickens, tight junctions strengthen, and beneficial bacteria flourish, producing metabolites that calm immune overactivation and enhance digestion. By day 7, many people notice reductions in bloating, smoother bowel movements, and more stable energy levels. By day 14, the gut is often significantly stronger. Inflammation has decreased, immunity stabilizes, and digestion improves noticeably. Weight regulation can also become easier as the body's metabolism recalibrates, supported by a healthier microbial balance and reduced immune-driven energy drain. Incorporating the gut, healing food into daily meals ensures that epithelial cells receive the building blocks for repair, while beneficial bacteria are consistently fed, creating a resilient microbial ecosystem. The combination of structured daily intake, nutrient, dense supporting foods, circadian, aligned eating, mindful habits, and lifestyle adjustments provides a comprehensive blueprint that delivers measurable improvements in digestion, inflammation, and overall well-being in just 2 weeks. Consistency and attention to foundational principles of physiology are what make this 14-day reset effective, turning the gut from a site of dysfunction into a center of energy, immunity, and metabolic efficiency. When the gut lining is repaired and microbial balance is restored, the body's hormonal signals begin to normalize, producing profound changes in metabolism and cravings. A healthy gut prevents the leakage of inflammatory molecules into the bloodstream, which reduces chronic stress on the system and stabilizes cortisol levels. Lower cortisol allows insulin to function more efficiently, preventing sugar crashes and reducing the body's tendency to store fat. Cravings for processed foods and refined sugars diminish naturally, because the gut and brain are no longer in a state of constant alarm. With insulin sensitivity restored and energy production optimized, the body begins to release stubborn fat that was previously protected by inflammation-driven metabolic dysfunction. Gut healing also has visible and tangible effects on skin, mental clarity, and overall energy. As inflammatory signals decrease, skin becomes clearer with fewer rashes, acne, or eczema flare-ups. Nutrient absorption improves, allowing vitamins and minerals essential for skin health, brain function, and mood regulation to be efficiently utilized. Cognitive function sharpens, focus improves, and fatigue lifts because mitochondria are no longer suppressed by chronic immune activation. Beneficial microbial metabolites help produce neurotransmitters, supporting mood stability and mental resilience. Digestion becomes smoother with reduced bloating, gas, and irregular bowel movements, reinforcing a sense of comfort and vitality throughout the day. The microbiome also plays a key role in hormone regulation. Leptin and G-ghrelin, which control hunger and satiety, normalize as gut bacteria repopulate and inflammatory signals decline. Estrogen metabolism improves because the gut-liver axis is functioning efficiently, reducing estrogen dominance that can contribute to weight gain and fatigue. Thyroid function benefits indirectly as systemic inflammation decreases, allowing for more consistent hormone signaling and energy production. Hormones and digestion work synergistically to restore balance, supporting not only weight loss but also overall well-being and resilience. Daily use of the #1 gut healing food combined with supportive habits and nutrient-rich meals accelerates these visible benefits. Within 14 days, many people experience noticeable reductions in bloating, a more stable appetite, increased energy, and clearer, healthier skin. Fat stores begin to shift without extreme dieting, mood improves, and the body begins functioning with a sense of balance that has been absent for months or even years. Dr. Myhill emphasizes that the body is designed to heal itself when given the right inputs. Give the gut what it needs, and the body heals itself efficiently, predictably, and quickly. The transformation begins in the digestive system, but radiates outward, impacting every aspect of physical, mental, and metabolic health in a remarkably short period.